My dear brother, my dear sister, there is a reason you are hearing these words right now. Not because you searched for them, not because you planned for them, but because Allah is quietly moving something in your life that you have not yet fully understood. Some people will no longer be able to reach you, not because you walked away, not because you changed, but because Allah is raising you to a place where their hands can no longer touch your heart. Stay with me for a few moments, because what you are about to hear may explain the shift you have been feeling in your soul. This shift in your life is not random. Allah is moving you out of what can no longer hold you. My dear brothers and sisters, let me speak to you softly, as if your heart is sitting right in front of me, open and listening. There comes a moment in life when something inside you begins to change quietly. It does not announce itself. It does not arrive with noise or signs that everyone can see. It comes like a gentle breeze in a closed room. You only realize it when you begin to feel different in places that once felt familiar. The laughter that once felt natural now feels forced. The conversations that once energized you now leave you tired. The dreams that once felt big now feel small, almost like they belong to someone you used to be, not the person you are becoming. And you sit with this feeling, sometimes late at night, sometimes in the middle of a busy day, and you wonder, what is happening to me? Why do I feel disconnected from my own life? My dear one, this is not confusion. This is not you losing your way. This is Allah beginning to guide you to a new one. You see, Allah does not always guide by opening a door in front of you. Sometimes He guides by making the room you are standing in feel uncomfortable, so you begin to look for a door you never noticed before. Sometimes He does not change your surroundings, He changes your heart. And when your heart changes, the world around you no longer fits in the same way. You may still be in the same house, the same workplace, the same circle of people, but inside something feels different. You start to notice things you once ignored. You start to feel things you once brushed away. You start to question things you once accepted without thought. And this can be unsettling, because when you grow, you often outgrow before you understand what you are growing into. So you try to hold on to what you know. You try to return to old habits because they feel safe. You try to reconnect with old versions of yourself because they feel familiar. You try to convince yourself that this feeling will pass if you just ignore it. But my dear brother, my dear sister, some feelings do not pass because they are not meant to be ignored. They are meant to be followed. That quiet discomfort in your chest, that restlessness in your heart, that sense that I am meant for something more than this is not arrogance. It is not dissatisfaction with Allah's blessings. It is a sign that Allah is preparing you for a new level of awareness, a deeper connection, a more sincere way of living, because growth in faith does not always look like learning more words. Sometimes it looks like feeling less attached to the world. You begin to care less about being seen and more about being sincere. You begin to care less about impressing people and more about pleasing Allah. You begin to care less about how things look on the outside and more about what they feel like on the inside. And this is a beautiful shift. But it can also feel lonely, because not everyone around you will understand what you are experiencing. Some may think you have changed in a negative way. Some may say you are becoming distant. Some may say you are no longer the same person you used to be. And in a way, they are right. You are not the same person you used to be, because Allah is shaping you into someone new. You see, my dear one, if Allah kept you exactly as you were, in exactly the same emotional, spiritual and mental space, you would remain stuck at the same level of closeness to Him. But Allah loves you too much to leave you where you are when He knows you can become more. So He begins to loosen your attachment to things that once defined you. He may loosen your attachment to certain friendships. He may loosen your attachment to certain goals. He may loosen your attachment to certain comforts. Not because these things are always bad, but because they may have become too central in your heart, and Allah wants to be at the center. So He gently shifts things around you. He allows certain connections to fade. He allows certain plans to fall apart. He allows certain paths to feel blocked. And from your perspective, it feels like loss. But from Allah's perspective, it is alignment. Because sometimes the path you are walking cannot lead you to the place He has prepared for you. So He redirects you even if you do not yet see where you are going. My dear brothers and sisters, think about a child who is holding onto something sharp. The child does not understand why the parent is taking it away. The child only feels the loss. The child may even cry. But the parent sees the danger the child does not see. In the same way, Allah sees what certain habits, certain environments, certain attachments, and certain patterns are doing to your heart over time. You may not feel the damage yet. You may not see the effect yet. But Allah knows. So He begins to move you, sometimes slowly, sometimes gently, sometimes through moments that make you stop and reflect. You begin to feel less comfortable in places where you once felt at home. You begin to feel less excited by things that once motivated you. You begin to feel a deeper hunger for meaning, for purpose, for something that touches your soul, not just your mind. And my dear one, this hunger is a gift, because not everyone reaches a point in life where they begin to ask deeper questions. Not everyone reaches a point where they begin to look beyond what is visible and start searching for what is eternal. So if you find yourself in this space, do not see it as a problem. See it as an invitation from Allah to come closer, an invitation to simplify your life, an invitation to examine what you truly live for. You may start to notice that things you once chased so desperately no longer excite you in the same way. You may still work hard. You may still plan for the future. You may still enjoy the blessings of this world. But deep down, your heart begins to say, this is not everything. And that is a powerful realization. Because when you realize that this world is not everything, you begin to live differently in it. You begin to be more patient in hardship because you know it is temporary. You begin to be more grateful in ease because you know it is a gift. You begin to be more forgiving with people because you know everyone is on their own journey. And most importantly, you begin to turn back to Allah more often, not just in moments of need, but in moments of calm. My dear brothers and sisters, this shift you feel is not random. It is not a phase. It is not a weakness. It is not you losing interest in life. It is Allah awakening you to a deeper level of living. He is moving you from a life that is driven by habit to a life that is guided by intention. He is moving you from a heart that reacts to everything to a heart that reflects on everything. He is moving you from a version of yourself that survives to a version of yourself that understands why you are here. And yes, this process can be uncomfortable because growth almost always is. It feels like standing between who you used to be and who you are becoming, not fully fitting into either space. You may feel out of place. You may feel misunderstood. You may feel like you are walking alone at times. But my dear one, you are not alone. Allah is with you in this transition. Every thought that makes you reflect, every tear that makes you soften, every moment of silence that makes you turn inward, all of it is part of how He is shaping your heart. So when you feel yourself being pulled away from certain habits, certain people, certain patterns, and even certain dreams, do not panic. Do not rush to fill the space with noise. Do not rush to replace what is fading with something similar. Sit with the feeling. Ask Allah to guide you through it. Because sometimes what feels like emptiness is actually space. Space for a stronger faith. Space for a clearer purpose. Space for a closer relationship with Allah. You are not losing something. You are being moved into something deeper than comfort, something higher than familiarity, something more lasting than what you have known before. And my dear brothers and sisters, trust this movement, because the one who is guiding it is the one who knows your heart better than you know it yourself. May Allah grant you clarity in this season of change, patience in this season of growth, and peace in this season of becoming. May He make this shift not a source of fear, but a source of closeness to Him. And may He lead you gently, step by step, into a life that is not just lived, but lived with purpose, sincerity, and light. Some people were only meant to meet you at your lowest level, not your rise. My dear brothers and sisters, let me speak to a part of your heart that feels heavy when you think about the people who are no longer walking beside you. There are moments in life when you look around and realize that the circle you once had has grown smaller. The voices that once filled your days have become quiet. The faces that once felt familiar now feel distant. and inside you a question begins to form, what happened? Did I do something wrong? Did I change too much? My dear one, sometimes the answer is simple and painful at the same time. Yes, you changed, but not in a way that is wrong. You changed in a way that Allah intended. You see, not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay for every chapter of it. Some people come to support you when you are broken. Some come to walk with you when you are confused. Some come to help you survive a difficult season, but not all of them are meant to walk with you when you begin to heal. There are people who feel comfortable around your pain, but feel uncomfortable around your peace. There are people who know how to sit with you when you are doubting, but do not know how to stand with you when you are confident in Allah. And this is not always because they are bad people. Sometimes it is simply because your growth reminds them of what they are not yet ready to face in themselves. My dear brothers and sisters, think about this gently when you begin to change, when you begin to become more intentional in your faith, more careful in your choices, more protective of your heart. Your life begins to move at